What if one of Princess Leonor's greatest challenges is something nobody can actually see? No headlines, no dramatic palace announcement, no obvious signs, just something quiet, something constant, something invisible, pressure, the kind that follows someone everywhere. Because while the world often sees Princess Leonor smiling at ceremonies, attending royal events, and preparing for an extraordinary future, perhaps there's another side people rarely talk about. The emotional weight of always knowing expectations never truly disappear. Today, we're exploring one emotional question. What kind of quiet pressure could be following Princess Leonor everywhere she goes? Because sometimes the heaviest burdens are the ones nobody notices. Let's explore. Princess Leonor's future has never felt ordinary. Most young people grow up wondering what they want to become. Careers change, dreams evolve, mistakes happen, time feels flexible. But perhaps Princess Leonor's reality feels very different. Her future may already carry enormous expectation. Future queen, national responsibility, royal preparation, public attention. Perhaps from a young age, life already felt shaped by something much larger than herself. That alone could feel emotionally heavy. Because maybe one truth quietly follows royal life. When expectations feel enormous, pressure rarely disappears completely. It simply changes shape. The pressure to always get things right. Imagine knowing millions of people may watch your every step, every appearance, every speech, every expression, every choice. Perhaps one quiet pressure Princess Leonor feels involves something deeply human. The expectation to never make mistakes. To remain composed, careful, prepared, confident, even during difficult moments. That emotional reality alone could feel exhausting. Because nobody feels perfect all the time. Yet perhaps public life quietly asks for strength even on hard days. And maybe that expectation becomes heavier than people realize. What if the hardest pressure is silent? Here's something important worth considering. Not all pressure feels loud. Sometimes it feels quiet, invisible, internal. Maybe no one even says anything directly. Yet responsibility still follows closely. A future role, public expectation, family legacy. Perhaps Princess Leonor sometimes feels pressure simply from understanding what lies ahead. Because maybe one emotional truth feels impossible to avoid. Sometimes responsibility feels heavy long before it officially arrives. And perhaps that emotional weight quietly grows over time. King Felipe may understand this better than anyone. Here's something deeply emotional to think about. Perhaps King Felipe understands exactly what Princess Leonor carries. After all, he once stood in a similar position. Expectation, preparation, pressure, responsibility arriving early. Maybe because of that experience, he notices emotions others miss. Quiet stress, hidden worries, moments where things feel overwhelming. And perhaps one role he quietly plays matters deeply. Helping Leonor carry pressure without feeling crushed by it. Because sometimes the people who understand hardest paths best become silent sources of support. Queen Letizia may worry about the emotional cost. What if Queen Letizia notices something others overlook? Mothers often see emotional struggles before anyone else. Stress hidden behind smiles, exhaustion hidden behind composure, pressure hidden behind responsibility. Perhaps one quiet concern follows her closely. Making sure Princess Leonor never loses herself beneath expectation. Because maybe one painful truth feels universal. Success means very little if someone quietly feels overwhelmed. And perhaps emotional well-being matters just as much as royal preparation. The pressure of being compared. Here's another possibility people rarely discuss. Comparison, past monarchs, royal expectations, public opinion, the future. Perhaps Princess Leonor sometimes quietly wonders, will I be good enough? Strong enough? Ready enough? Those feelings feel deeply human. Even ordinary people experience them. But perhaps carrying those questions publicly feels very different. Because maybe pressure grows when expectations feel larger than life. Why stories like this feel so relatable? People connect deeply with stories like this because pressure feels universal. School pressure, work pressure, family pressure, expectation, responsibility. Those emotions happen everywhere. Inside palaces, inside ordinary homes. Because one emotional truth feels familiar. Sometimes people quietly carry burdens nobody fully sees. And perhaps that possibility makes Princess Leonor feel more relatable than many expect. Maybe the real challenge is learning to carry it. But perhaps here's the deeper question. Maybe pressure itself isn't the real issue. Perhaps learning how to carry it becomes the challenge. Balance, support, identity, strength, knowing when to rest, knowing who to trust. Because maybe one truth matters most. Even extraordinary futures become easier when someone feels supported. And perhaps Princess Leonor already has people helping her carry that invisible weight. The human side people sometimes forget. Sometimes people see only titles. Princess, future queen, royal responsibility, public appearances. But beneath all of that still exists something deeply ordinary. A young person growing up, facing pressure, trying to understand life, and perhaps one emotional truth feels hardest to ignore. Even someone preparing for a crown may quietly carry invisible worries no one fully sees. So, what is the quiet pressure following Princess Leonor everywhere? Perhaps responsibility, expectation, public attention, the emotional weight of an extraordinary future. But maybe one hopeful truth matters too. Pressure becomes easier to carry when people feel understood, supported, and loved. What do you think? Could Princess Leonor quietly feel more pressure than people realize? Or do you think she's fully prepared for the future ahead? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, hidden truths, and fascinating discussions.